Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to go over a feature from Ludus on how to add a VM to an existing range and then how to configure that VM and redeploy it to that same range but just the one VM. Alright, so I'd like to start out on this page of Ludus's docs, specifically the environment guides, just to show how cool this is. It's got all sorts of environments, including SCCM, which is Microsoft's Config Manager, or you can do a malware lab, or you can do a NetExec workshop deployment. You can do another SCCM. There's a couple different ones. Splunk attack range, all sorts of great things. Very complex things where you have different VLANs and firewalls allowing and not allowing things. Super great. But today we are going to add a VM to a range, and then we're going to redeploy that VM after we've configured it. So we'll use this doc. So this doc, first you need to deploy the VM. So let's do that first. I'm going to go ahead and look at Proxmox. We'll use this range and we'll put a Kali in here. There's no Kali right now. Let me go to the backend server. Here's my backend server. So let's clear all this fun stuff. And then we will do a Ludus range. Actually, let's find the Kali. Make sure this is a good size. We'll list grep Kali. Let's check out just a regular old Kali. And VLAN 10, last octet 61. This seems to be useful. So Ludus range config set f that Kali YAML. And then we want it for that user. Let's see what that user is right here, the range. All right. Press enter. There it is. Your range config has been successfully updated. Then we'll do a Ludus range deploy specific user range. That one again. Press enter. Then we should see it in Proxmox starting. But before we do that, we can also watch it through the logs on the terminal here. All right, there are the logs on the terminal. It says deploy VM. So we look down here, we can see it's cloning. And we can see right here, it's doing what it needs to do. You can see it progressing here and on the back end. So here it's trying to acquire the IP address. If we go here to summary, we can look at the IP address. So yep, it's still trying to acquire the DHCP address. We go back here, it looks like setting the static IP from the template. So if we go back here, summary, agent not running. So it's going through the motions, I guess. Here we go. And there's our .61 IP that we set it to. That is awesome. Let's go back the back end, and it is already done. Sweet. So let's say we want to modify that template. So, Kali.yaml, and I no longer want it to be 61. I want it to be 13, and maybe there were some other things I decided to do here, like true or whatever. But I'm just going to change that one thing to 13. And then we're going to go ahead and do a Ludus range config set f Kali. And then it's going to be for that user. All right. Great, now it has that config that we changed. So next we'll do the command that is in the docs. So let's look for that. Deploy. Is this it? What's going on here? Single VM to arrange. We'll just pick this for now. We'll also need to do the user part. Okay. And the VM name will be, if I scroll up here, it will be this name right here. All right, that is looking good. So Ludus range deploy, limit that Kali, and on that. All right, so let's try that. All right, so Ludus range logs F user. Let's go ahead and see how it's progressing. We will go back up here to the Kali. Looks like it had to reboot. Waiting for the host control SSH to come up. That makes sense. Yep, we were doing that here. Now that's up. If we go to summary, looks like it changed it to 13. So cool. There you go. That's how to redeploy a VM using Ludus. Hope you learned something good today. Hope this makes things faster and easier for you. And until the next video, stay awesome.